know in our business,
So when Greg B.
it's going to be impossible to find yourself.
Yeah, I was going to say, Blake, you can get
Mike's. Text me back, Mike, so I'll know that we got him. Test, it, Bobby, test it. Broadcast already started on Well, oh, there we go. So sorry, guys, if you didn't hear us there. We got it. But we're again, we're excited to be here at JR's. Been such a great sponsor for us for so many years. 256-329-2328 is the number to dial in for them, and you'll be able to get some of their great food off the menu, or they'll come and deliver it to you as well. Again, JR Sports Bar and Grill, 256-329-2328. In the dog days of summer here, although it's starting to heat up a little bit, what that means is now football teams in the midst of getting prepared for their first game of the season. Benjamin Russell today traveled to Sanford for a 7-on-7, and had the opportunity to get some highlights from that from Lizzie. So she did a great job today covering that. But saw a little touchdown pass today from Landon to Nick McGee. So hopefully that's a sign of things to come. But it sounds like still it's going to be a team that is really predicated on running the football. But it's glad to see football back. This is the first official thing of the season so far for the Wildcats. So I think this will be kind of the catalyst for the rest of the teams in the area. I know Coosa has a 7-on-7 coming up pretty soon as well. So one of my favorite things, though, to discuss, though, is the preseason portion of the season, kind of recapping last year and getting prepared for the upcoming event. And so, but Blank, thoughts so far on just some recapping some things. We're now full swing off of Youth League Sports. We do have a couple of teams that are traveling to Southeast Regionals. We have a 10U team that will be traveling down south, as well as an 8U team that will be traveling to Spanish Fort as well to represent it. So kind of in our element now, getting an opportunity to really talk about some high school football.
Yeah, definitely. And it's an exciting time, man. Like you said, it's middle of July already. Before you know it, it's going to be August. And then when August comes, it's pretty much full swing. But before I get into that, I do want to say that, it's awesome that it seems like in our area there's been some age group or some kind of youth sports team that's going to the Southeast Regionals or whatever else. So that's hats off to the teams and the coaches around this area, just because that didn't really happen that often. And it seems like over the past couple of years we've had plenty of teams going and competing in these things. So we wish all those guys the best of luck. We know we got a lot of them that we know personally, and some that we know of. But it's going to be fun to see how they do, because you make that grind and you battle through state and everything else, but now you get some teams from all over the place. So you're going to see some ball. You're going to start playing some ball. And if not, then you'll go to the house. But we wish all those guys best of luck. But getting back into football, try to gather myself too.
Yeah, my bad. That was all
I completely.
My bad. I could have just kept it going for
and you probably didn't hear it before it just started, but I completely wiped out the entire stage and lights. Everything went off. So I'm trying to get everything together on that. But football season right around. I'm excited to see how Ben Russell does in the 7-on-7 camp. Maybe we can see some things. We can see some development from the quarterback position, and see what kind of I guess talent we have on the outside as well. Because we have talked a lot about going back to the run first system and everything, but you might learn some things, and kids grow over the years, and they get more comfortable in their role and everything else. So it's gonna be interesting to see if we'll be able to move the ball when we need to through the air.
Yeah,
because it's going to happen.
That's the difference, and this is no knock on the person that we have now, but we've been very fortunate to have a stallion in the backfield at the running back position in the Kobe Maxwell.
Definitely. 3,000
yards rushing the last couple of years, and so combined. And so when you have somebody who has pretty much been a part of about 80% of your offense, it's going to be tough to kind of replicate that. But I feel very confident in the progression of our players. And the thing that I think you'll see the most is, and coaches may not want to hear this, but I think from a win-loss record, it may not appear that the team has gotten, we may not have the same amount of wins or have an increase in wins from the 3 that we had last year. But I think in terms of development, I think you have an opportunity to kind of set the stage for some things going forward. This happened a couple of years ago where, we were on a stretch where we'd won 4 straight years of 10 wins, 4 straight years. So there was a little drop off there. Obviously, when you lose such a stallion senior class of what you had in 2015, coming back last year with 16, not the season that we were accustomed to. Actually, defensively, is something we've always been able to hold our hat on. We've been a perennial top 10 in points per game for the last 3 or 4 years. And last year, we gave up the most amount of points that the school had ever done. So it's really been something I think, a learning curve for a lot of our guys. But if you really see some of the guys that are coming up from this 8th, 9th, 10th grade group that are now getting the opportunity to play on the varsity level, I think you'll see some very good football. But again, today they did travel to Sanford, took on Pinson Valley. I can't recall the other couple of teams, but the thing with 707 is, it's a condensed, especially for a team like Benjamin Russell, who's not probably going to throw the ball more than 10, 12 times a game. You're not going to really implement a new package or anything like that for 707. So you're using a limited playbook. But for the limited amount that I saw today through some highlights, it did appear that that Landon is going to be somebody that can sling the ball around a little bit. And I know we have the receivers there. And in the backfield, you have somebody like David Heron, who is just a stellar athlete, upcoming junior. He'll be somebody who I think you'll see. He's a multi-sport athlete, plays basketball as well, but I think he'll be the person who carries the load offensively for the Wildcats. Not as fast as Nakobe on the breakaway end, but I think from the toughness standpoint, I think you'll still see somebody who can carry the rock 20, 25 times a game.
And that's really what we need too. Speed's great, but when you're in a system like we have, you got to have that workhorse. I think that's what the thing about Nakobe is he had the speed too, but he was carrying the ball 35, 40 times a game. And he would lean and get that extra yard, and then in the fourth quarter after 35 carries, he still ran just as hard. So that's going to be some big shoes to fill. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw multiple options back there, just kind of see, because really it's hard to replace a running back of his talent, his caliber. But and speaking on what you mentioned about last year's season compared to the previous four, it's all part of the cycle. It's a natural cycle. In high school sports, you really can't do any recruiting if you're not in one of these major metropolitan areas in the state. Then you're going to have those times where you have to go through a rebuilding process, and that's part of it. So I think we're going to see a lot of younger guys this year get out there and show us what they can do. I'm interested to see what Nick McGee can do.
Mm-hmm.
He's an outstanding athlete. I know more of him from the baseball field than anything, but just watching what he can do there, then I don't have any doubt that he can show that same athletic ability on the football field. So I'm really excited about it. It's going to be here before we know it. We have the Show Your Colors thing coming up pretty soon too.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk more with a lot of the local teams and the teams in the area, talk with some of the players. So it's going to be fun to just kind of see where they're at and see how they're preparing for this upcoming season.
And that's a good segue into some of our guests tonight. We have a full slate tonight. Brett has his national championship team a team that is going to the national championship on the collegiate golf end. Collegiate bass fishing end. I'm sorry about that. We'll have an opportunity to catch up with a couple of the fishermen and kind of get a recap of how the season's going and what they expect as they get ready to head to a national playoff or national championship run. And obviously Central Alabama, bass fishing is new to their program, but I know that their coach is somebody who is very familiar and has always been somebody. Actually, now we haven't had a chance to even talk about it. Has the second largest fish in Louisiana State history, caught last week. So I think if you have somebody like him, you definitely have somebody who knows what they're talking about. But we'll also have the opportunity to catch up with Bill White, who will be talking about the Dream Field that will be coming to Alexander City. We have a big banquet that will be coming up, an auction and a concert as a fundraiser for the Dream Field. And our very own Kendall Graveman has done an outstanding job of trying to provide as much memorabilia as possible. Just to kind of drop a few, Albert Pujols, Josh Donaldson, Jose Altuve, Reggie Jackson. So there's a plethora of memorabilia that I think that our constituents of listeners will definitely want to be a part of. And as we lead into this next break, as you brought up, we'll have our Show Your Colors event next week as a part of Sun Festival. So we'll bring on VP of Business Development for the Alexander City Chamber at 6:15, Jacob Meacham, to discuss what Sun Festival is and some of the other things that will be taking place. But that'll wrap us up for the first segment of tonight. We'll go ahead and take our first break. More of the Lake Martin Sports Roundup show right after this.
Welcome back into Late Morning Sports Roundup. I'm your host, Adam Blankenship. Joined now with this is a couple members of the CAC fishing team. Guys, want to introduce yourselves to everybody in the listening area?
I'm Hunter Ward.
And I'm Stuart Ward.
Hunter, so y'all brothers?
No, sir, we're cousins.
Oh, cousins. Okay, I was about to say. I was like, man, I just now put it together. I kind of see it now. All right. So same dad, same mother.
No, we didn't even know we were cousins.
I'm thinking mothers. Your mother's related, or your dad's related, or
Our dads.
Our dad's
okay, brothers.
We didn't even know we were related coming into the school year. And
Oh, really?
I met him. I was like, hey, you might be related. Sure enough.
It just worked out that y'all both had the same interest in fishing and everything else as well. But I'd say fishing in the Lake Martin area is really huge. It always has been. But CAC has really gotten heavy into it here lately. Talk to us a little bit about your season that you've had this year and up to this point.
Well, it started out slow. We went through
Your eyes.
3 major FLW qualifying tournaments and did not catch a fish. We went to Tennessee for the Eastern Open and finished 36th. We were 14 places out, a little over 4 pounds out. Came into the last tournament of the year, which was the wild card, and we knew we needed to qualify, and we just happened to get it done.
So that pretty much wraps up fishing in general right there, right? You go out there some days, you catch nothing, and then sometimes you come in and you just hit big. Tell us about the fish that you caught to qualify. What were they a lot larger than what you were expecting, or were you guys just kind of bound and determined you weren't coming back till you got it? What kind of happened with that?
Well, my partner here, Hunter, he was on his stuff like that, and I had one spot I found deep off a ledge fish. That's what they call it. I found one spot on Lake, and it was holding. First day I went there, and I probably caught 1.5 pounds. 2 or 3 of them, I was like, well, I'm going to back off one time. And then I trusted my partner to go shallow, and we did the first day of the tournament. We went shallow. Then after that, 12:30 rolls around. How many fish we have? 3?
We had 3 really small fish.
I was like, Hunter, we got to do something, man. So we went to my spot about 12:30, and what time's the tournament in?
We had to weigh in at 1:45 that day.
1:45.
Oh, so it was like crunch time right there.
It really was. And we went to that one spot I had, and we ended up pulling 3 of our biggest fish that day, and then cold 1 out of the live well.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I know what we're doing tomorrow. And throughout the tournament, and those fish stayed there heavily
Really?
all week long.
So was it one of those things where you kind of hit big, you just come back the next day? Were you just kind of itching the night before to get back out there? You're like hoping nobody else finds that spot, or
Especially on the last day, man.
I can't imagine the pressure that builds up on that, and how exciting that was when you guys did end up getting those big catches there. What kind of preparation do you guys have to do going into one of these tournaments? How do y'all, I guess, get yourself ready for that?
Practice.
Practice?
Or just well, like Tennessee, like Cherokee, we went to Cherokee. We had no idea what to do, so we just went out there and went fishing, man.
Wow. So tournaments usually run Friday, Saturday, or is it how many days?
Let's see, the college tournaments are Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
For bass.
For bass. And then on the FLW side, they're just Saturday.
So do you guys get there early in the week and get to practice a couple of days, or how does that work?
The last one we fished on Lake, we were there. I got there Monday, and I fished Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then the tournament's Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Oh, nice. So I guess it kind of gives you a little bit of time to get prepared, but still, I mean, going into somewhere that you're not familiar with there's just so much space.
Well, we got
you know what I mean?
we got so lucky because Lake was
home.
20-minute
here.
drive.
That's what I was going to ask you, if you guys kind of use some of that knowledge from the past to hit some of those certain spots.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I really never fished Lake. To be honest with you, I didn't really like it because I don't know. That's just me, though.
Yeah. How does it work with the communication between you guys? Like, whenever you're in this tournament, you're going, or y'all just, like you said, you trusted him to fish shallow. Is there a lot of that going on, or y'all kind of planning the night before? I mean, how does that work?
See, like you said, he got there Monday. I mean, we both have a boat, and so I went out one day by myself, pre-fished by myself, and helped pre-fish by himself, and just trust your gut.
Yeah.
Just trust your gut.
So when tournament time comes around, you're on the same boat, or you're still on two different boats then?
When tournament comes around, we're in the same boat.
Okay, all right. So you can really come together then and kind of. Y'all ever get mad at each other? Y'all ever get mad because bad spots
I
or
don't
anything?
really never get mad. It was
No, we're not really.
frustration,
That-
not catching a fish.
Yeah, well, that right there is the beauty of fish right there, of going fishing. Like, yeah, you might have had a bad day, but how bad is a bad day in the lake? So that's a good thing. But another reason why I have you guys here is you have a big tournament coming up. Talk to us about the national championship coming up here.
We get to go to Minnesota. It's a 23-hour drive.
23 hours, but pulling a boat.
Pulling a boat.
Pulling a boat.
23 hours. All right. Well, what's the date on the tournament, and when's this all taking place?
August 10th through the 12th.
Yeah, 10th or 9th. One of the two.
Something like
It's
that.
one of them.
Have you guys done any kind of research on the schools going to be there, or in the competition or anything? Or
Well, they only took 80 boats
There's a little
Wow.
over 80
out of everybody in I guess, United States.
the United States.
And
wow.
so, like I said, we ended up getting lucky off Lele, but I'm glad God was with us.
That's going to be an exciting experience, be a once in a lifetime thing there, because I can imagine. Have you guys had the chance to look at the lake you're going to be fishing, or kind of do any kind of research on it or anything? Or?
We've looked at it on Google Earth and things like that. The maps.
I watched a couple of videos on YouTube, and it's smallmouth fishing. You got smallmouth, largemouth, and spotted bass. What's the closest lake that has smallmouth here?
The Tennessee River would be Wheeler.
Yeah, Wheeler. And I mean,
That's almost 4 hours, 3.5
to
hours.
drive.
So you're going up there and fishing for something you really don't fish for that often, right?
Right. But they do have largemouth, so
They do
that's
have large.
that's good. That's a plus for us because me and him we both fish shallow, and we know how to work shallow together.
So in these tournaments, do you have a certain type fish you gotta bring in, or can you kind of? How does that work?
On these tournaments, you generally bring in, you always bring in bass. It'll be largemouth, spotted bass, or smallmouth, depending on what's in the lake.
Okay, so it doesn't matter. Like so, you said they have largemouth and smallmouth there.
Right.
It doesn't matter which one you bring in, as long as the weight's there.
As long as it's the certain length.
Whatever the lake requires,
Right.
and you bring in 5 every time you come in.
I got you. And I'm asking you all these questions too because I know some listeners are out there probably wondering the same thing I am about it. I don't know too much about professional fishermen and tournaments and those type things, but I know there's a lot of guys out there that probably do, and they're thinking, "Oh my God, this guy's an idiot." But well, I just kind of like to break it down a little bit for some of the people who's just kind of picking up on it and whatnot. How many fish do you guys have to bring in for weigh-in in the tournament? Is your biggest 3?
Biggest 5 per day.
5 per day. Okay, you tally them up from the entire tournament.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, we'd love to have you guys on when you get back. Talk to us more about that experience. I can imagine the nerves you guys are going to have on that. Do you know what kind of baits and stuff you're going to use? Is it going to be something different that you're doing? I guess since you say you don't fish that often on smallmouth.
It's going to be 70 degrees there during the day, 50 at night. So I really don't know. I'm just so excited about it, and ready to get up there and go after it.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, we wish you guys all the luck, and I'm sure you can't wait to get that 70-degree weather. It's just being down here lately for the past month or so. It seems like summer's really kicked in here lately. But we wish you guys best of luck. We want to have you on whenever you get back. Let us know how everything went. Take plenty of pictures. You guys show us, and hopefully, there's always a possibility y'all might come back with a championship.
Yeah.
I mean, how cool would that be to be a national champion?
That'd be pretty cool.
All right. Well, that is the CAC bass fishing team up here at Central Alabama Community College. Guys coming up in August doing the national championship fishing tournament, and we'll have these guys on then to find out how everything went. But take a quick commercial break. We'll be back. We've got some more guests lined up with you. More Lake Martin Sports Roundup show right after this.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Lake Martin Sports Roundup Show presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill. Brett Pritchard now up here with you. Bill White joining me to talk about the Miracle Field plans, the concert for Off, and the auction that's going to be held on August the 19th. Bill, good to see you, brother. Glad you're up here. And, there's nothing like being volunteered to come and talk about something, right?
Oh, ain't no doubt. So I can thank Sonny Wilson,
Yeah.
Jim Hardy for all this.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there's a lot that goes into this. This is a big deal to kind of catch everybody up that might not know about what we're talking about. There's plans over at the Sportsplex through the Off, the Outdoor Friends Forever organization, and a lot of private and public people coming out to support and build a field for disabled kids and adults, and for them to have it. And if you've been in bigger cities, you've seen this going on. Really, really nice fields built to give them an opportunity to go out and continue to enjoy sports and to continue to play things and be part of events and tournaments. And this live concert and auction on the 19th at the Sportsplex is to benefit that. And look, if you're a big fan of memorabilia, there's going to be some really cool things that you can bid on out there, Bill.
Oh, yeah. I've been working with Kendall Graveman, trying to get some stuff. A lot of Major League Baseball players have, they have big hearts, and, they love to contribute, when they hear good plans like this. I mean, from Albert Pujols, Josh Donaldson, heck, Reggie Jackson, heck, the list goes on and on. Of course, Kendall himself.
Of course. Yeah.
Mike Trout. I mean, there's some big names, and hopefully we, with Judge winning the home run derby, maybe we can hit Judge up for a pair of shoes or a bat or something like that. And
well, I'll be out there bidding because you know how big I am with memorabilia. But I mean, it's a good opportunity to have that money go to this cause. Also, there'll be a concert out there. Phenomenal musicians. I've got to say something. I've met Russell Craig the last month. He's actually a student out at Central Alabama Community College, and I pulled up his music. And let me just tell you something. He's phenomenal. He is truly a gem, and he's going to be playing. And then Route 66, featuring Justin Rivers from The Voice Season 4 will be there at the Sportsplex. And then the main event that night, Kyle Wilson will be playing. And most of you know the Wilson brothers, but Kyle, really talented, super musician from this area. And you can go out there. The VIP tickets are available. It includes dinner, the auction, and the concert. $35 for one ticket, $60 for a couple. I mean, what a great night, man. It's August 19th. What else would you rather be doing? You're going to get able to go out to a concert, be part of a dinner, be part of a cool auction that's got some really unique prizes. I don't know really what else you'd want.
Well, that, the main thing is for the kids. To be able to do something this, the whole town, city, surrounding areas should get behind this, because this is it's a great cause. I've been to the one in Opelika. And them kids have a blast. Yeah. Being able to see them go out and, play the game I love and get to do everything. And the one in Alex City is, going to be better than, everything around, because it's going to be an all-purpose field. They're going to be able to play basketball, soccer, tennis, cool. Baseball, all in this area. So, then again, it'll bring people into the community also, because they're all going to come here and play. And
what a great opportunity and what a great asset it'll be. And, you and I were talking several weeks ago, just in conversation about how fortunate we are to have the Sportsplex here and how great of an asset it really is. And, you've talked to some of your guys, some friends that you've made throughout the years that live in other communities that may have never come to Alex City, and their expectations of what they were thinking they were coming to and what they saw when they got here were two totally different things. And most everybody is wowed when they go to a football game here, or they go up to the hill and watch a baseball game, whether it be a little league tournament or a varsity baseball game or whatever it might be. People, and I've said this so many times, and I think this is what's so important, and Randy and I really preach this, athletics brings people to your community that otherwise may not ever come here. And so it's an impression. It's the first impression. Sometimes it's the only impression that you have on somebody else. And, man, you want those people to leave this community, go and say, have you been down at City and seen what they've got?
Oh, it's just like my buddy from Phoenix City. When he come down, he was like, what dirt road do I take? What middle of hayfield are we going to play in?
Funny,
trying to be funny, like Phoenix City is something special, But he pulls in and he just sitting there the whole time. We're sitting there watching this, grandson play. He's talking about, hey, this is the nicest thing I've ever seen.
It really
I was
is.
like, I wish we would do more with getting more, summer league tournaments and stuff like that to bring people in the area. But, that's something we'll do the dream field first and then we'll work
just
on
build
that
up from there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it is funny that you brought that up because, there's a lot of cities. I'll use Florence as an example. We played All-Stars up there a couple of years ago when I coached Braden and his team, and we went up there and, that field, that complex is beautiful. But all of these complexes are cookie cutter now. They're just in these big expanses, open areas with no trees. It's kind of barren. Everything kind of looks the same. I mean, it's nice. Don't get me wrong because it's new, but they're just it has no uniqueness to it. You go to Florence and then you go to Oxford and then you go to somewhere else and they're just all the same. They look the same. But you come to Alex City, to our part, you could literally drive through the Sportsplex and never see a field. That's the unique thing about it, is that it's set in the woods. You're all types of people. If you're coming there for nature, to hike, to bike, whatever, you can drive through the whole complex and go, where's the field at? I ain't seen anything.
Hey, right when they pulled up, I had him meet me at Sonny's office or whatever because I was going to take him. And he pulls up and he goes, where in the world do they play baseball here? And I was like, right up there.
Can't see it.
Can't see it. He was like, what are you talking about? I said, we got to go through the woods up there, man. And he was like, oh, well, this is great. He thought that was great. He was talking about all the places your kids could play, sit down instead of
shade. All that stuff is just phenomenal. Just really unique opportunity for Alex City and to embrace. And once again, I know we have said it on this show for the last 11 years, how fortunate we are to have the sports. We really are. We're biased, obviously, but you go to other places and you come back and it makes you appreciate what you have here and go, man, we really are blessed in Alex City to have the facilities we have. And our Parks and Rec staff with Sonny and the whole group, Matthew and all of them.
They've done such a great job.
They
I know when I'd come back, after I retired and I walked out there the first time, I was like, what is this?
That's right.
This place can be phenomenal, and
there's no doubt.
Sonny took it over, and then once Sonny took it over, it took off. Now you go out there and you're proud of it.
That's right.
When I came back in 2010, I walked out there and said,
not proud.
I wouldn't even want my dog around this place, but
Now it's beautiful. It's returned back to its original luster. Well, Bill, we appreciate you coming up, man. Again, we want to tell everybody, and we'll be continuing to promote this from now till the concert on August the 19th at the Sportsplex to benefit the sports field for children with special needs, the Alex City Dream Field. This concert, this auction, all the money being raised will go directly to that facility. And again, like Bill said, this will be an all-purpose facility where not only can you play baseball and softball, but you can play tennis, you can play, basketball, you can play all these different sports. So it'll be unique in what other communities have up to speed. So there's a lot of thought, a lot of meetings, a lot of preparation has gone into this. So please come out and support this event. 3 great artists going to be playing out here at the Sportsplex. You don't want to miss it. You get the dinner. If you buy the VIP tickets, you get the dinner, you get the concert, and you get entrance to the auction.
We got some other, guys we've talked to about coming in. We met with Clint Myers today, of course, which is the Auburn softball coach. If he can fit it in his schedule, he's coming to it. He's behind it 100%. Got a meeting with Butch Thompson tomorrow, Auburn's baseball coach. He's behind it 100%. He wants to be able to make it out. And then also a guy named Tim Hudson. He was okay.
I think so.
That's what I'm saying. So
he had a decent career, didn't he?
So if he can fit it in his schedule, then
that just tells you.
Big guys
well, it just tells you. Butch Thompson last year really did some special stuff for United Way here in the Alex City area with the Read campaign, the Read the Book campaign. So a lot of cross the community. Help. They're down in Auburn, but communities, everybody benefits from something like this. So we're just fortunate that the plans are underway to have that facility here in Alex City. And Bill, thank you for what you do and all the support and the stuff. You're not a really upfront guy a lot of times. You like to be behind the scenes helping out, but it takes a lot of those kind of guys to make something like this happen. So we appreciate that and everybody else that's involved, man. So we'll have you back up here soon, and we'll continue on on, and
Anytime, man. I enjoy
Sonny. So we'll make Sonny come. We'll make Jim come.
No, they'll just call me
We'll force
again.
them to come
They'll
this
just
time.
call me to
That's
come
right,
again,
and that'll be fine. And
That's right.
the longer me and you stay on there, the more edgy it could get.
That's
so we
right.
probably just need to go and cut it off right there. Hey, Bill, thank you so much, buddy.
I enjoyed it, man.
Appreciate it so much. That's Bill White helping with the dream field that is going to be coming to the sports place. Stay tuned. More of the Late Mark Sports Roundup show coming your way right after this.
Welcome back in, and thanks for joining us here on the Sports Lake Martin Sports Roundup Show. I want to thank Bill White for coming up and joining Brett Pritchard as they talk about the Dream Field. And I'm really excited about what all from the Parks and Recreation Department are putting together. Jim Hardy and Sonny Wilson have done an outstanding job of orchestrating this event we'll have next month, August 19th. It will be a benefit for the Dream Field that we'll be bringing to Alexander City. But speaking of events that are happening around town, I want to welcome in our next guest, Jacob Meacham, who's the VP of Business Development for the Alexander City Chamber, and somebody who's very integral to the event we're about to talk about, Sun Festival, Alexander City Sun Festival. So, Jacob, thanks for joining.
Yeah, man, glad to be here. Thanks for having me to come on and talk about Sunfest. It's a busy week that's about to kick off on Friday. We've got 50 events or somewhere around that number over the course of 8 days from Friday the 14th through next Saturday the 22nd. That all wraps up with Moon Taxi playing out here in Strand Park in downtown Alex City. It's a great band that we're lucky to be able to lure to Alex City. We're just hoping for some good weather, and I think the crowd will turn out if so.
For those who aren't familiar with what Sunfest is, again, if I'm not mistaken, this will be the 5th year. So obviously this is only your second year back in town, but can you just give a little background as to how the event was established and kind of the progression from year 1 to year 5?
Yeah, well, this is my third year taking part in Sunfest. This is the 5th annual Sun Festival, so there were, I guess, 2 before I got here. But it's just an event that's designed to bring the community out and have events that cater to a wide variety of interests, whether you're young, old, whether you like music, whether you like to watch a play, whether you like outdoor activities, indoor activities. No matter what your interest is, we try to design events that cater to some specific interest of people that live here in Alexander City in the Lake Martin area. Not only for people in our community to enjoy, but for visitors to come to Alex City and enjoy. It's kind of not only a community festival, but also a tourism initiative that brings folks to our community and exposes them to all of the great offerings recreationally and business-wise, other things that we have here to offer. So the 5th year, I think it's progressively gotten bigger and better each year. Things change depending on, how we see the response to whatever events there are from year to year. I guess the biggest change is moving the final headlining concert from the Sportsplex, which was where it previously was, out here to downtown Alex City, Strand Park this year. So I think we've got a good plan together to accommodate a large crowd, and we're really looking forward to the week. We kick off on Friday with Friday on the Green, which is a Russell Lands event that already takes place. So we're just partnering with them to help promote and drive people to that. And then we'll roll right into Saturday's Slip and Slide 5K that kicks off downtown Alex City. There'll be a 5K route and a 1-mile fun run around downtown and through the streets of Alex City. And it all wraps up with a big slip and slide out here in Strand Park. We'll have some folks out, our event sponsors for that, local radio station 105.1 The Lake WRFS will be out broadcasting live with some good music and fun activities for people once they wrap up their run. The slip and slide, I think, will be a key attraction to bring a lot of folks down here and cool off after a long run.
Absolutely. And so something I wanted to touch on, you bring up just how many events that are involved with Sunfest. So how far in advance are you guys planning? I know just from my experience with United Way with the Fastest Show, the Qualify, just 2 or 3 months in advance from that. So I can imagine how far out you guys are doing it for this.
Well, typically after Sunfest, we take a couple of days off because it's a grind, 8 or 9 days of, sun up to sundown, basically, of coordinating these events and having all the fun that we have. So we'll take a couple of days off afterwards and kind of recharge the batteries. And then we immediately come back in and sit down and say, all right, what went well, what worked, what didn't work, how can we do things better for next year, and start making notes of things that we need to try to change and continue to make it better. So it almost starts immediately, but the real planning probably starts in January, February, when we start getting the series of events lined up, coordinating with all the businesses that are so kind to support these events through sponsorships, because without them, none of this would be possible. fantastic slate of events that we have for Sunfest just wouldn't be available if it were not for all the individuals and businesses and community organizations who either coordinate or sponsor to help make them happen. So the work starts early, and it takes a lot of people to pull it off. We're only a 4-person staff at the Chamber of Commerce, so we rely heavily on a lot of volunteers, a lot of businesses that I mentioned that support us not only through sponsorship but event coordination and hosting at their facilities. City of Alexander City is a very generous sponsor. They're the title sponsor of the event. They give tremendous resources, not only financially but otherwise, through allowing us to use their parks and rec facilities, their other community space throughout town to host these events. So it's really a lot of work, obviously, by us throughout the year, but it all comes together because of the work of many more people.
Again, we're here with Jacob Meacham, the VP of Business for the Alexander City Chamber of Commerce, and we're discussing the 5th annual Sun Festival event that will be taking place starting this Friday with Friday on the Green. Obviously, something that everybody's always in tune to. But before we talk about the headlining event, there are a couple of events I know we were talking that you wanted to kind of spotlight if you wanted to do that now.
Sure, yeah. I'll just kind of go through the calendar here and just touch on some of the lunch. And kicks off with Friday on the Green and then rolls into our 5K, which is on Saturday morning. And then on Sunday, out at Wind Creek State Park on Lake Martin, we have Family Day at the Lake. And it's free entry into Wind Creek State Park all day long. Family Day at the Lake kicks off at 1 p.m. The paddleboard race is at 11, so it's kind of an event that takes place outside of the other series of events at Family Day on the Lake. But bring your family out. We've got all sorts of great activities and fun things for them to enjoy. Fishing, the CACC fishing team, who you guys just had up here on the show, they'll be out kind of doing some fundamentals of baiting the hook and casting and just kind of showing people what to do and letting them test out their skills on the lake. We'll have canoeing. Off the Beaten Path is a local guide here on the Tallapoosa River and the surrounding areas. They'll be out with their equipment, letting people paddle around Lake Martin. Lake Martin Jungle Float, which is kind of like a big trampoline set-up boat that they have out there. It'll be at Wind Creek for people to enjoy. Dixie Sailing Club is going to be out for sailing. We have a beach volleyball tournament that I hear you're going to be participating in, Scott. We have a
now it's official
canoe and kayak race. And then it all wraps up with another event that I think you'll be really excited about, the hot dog eating contest. So that's Family Day at the Lake. It's free entry, as I mentioned, into Wind Creek for the entire afternoon, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Last year was the first time that we did Family Day at the Lake on a Sunday afternoon. Get out of church, change clothes, head down to Wind Creek State Park, and just bring your family and enjoy all the fun activities that we have lined up. One of the more popular events, I think, throughout the entire week, and it takes place Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, is the Pie in the Sky treasure hunt. Every morning we'll release a clue, and it'll be on the front porch as well as in the Alexander City Outlook and on the Chamber and Sun Festival social media. And it'll be a clue that leads you to someplace around town where a medallion's hidden. And every day, whoever finds that medallion, the person wins $200 and is entered into a drawing for $1,000. So you could really win some serious money by going out and finding one of those. Really fun. We write the clues. We try to make them, hard to figure out, but put them in places that are easy to find once you figure out and crack the code. So that's always a fun one. We have a lot of events for kids throughout the week. Kids Fest takes place every day, Monday through Friday. We have events at the Children's Library. We have events at CACC, which is Kids Fest College Bound. We have events out at the airport, which is going to be inflatables, slip and slides, all sorts of water events for kids to come out. A lot of the daycares come out and bring their kids too, so it's just a really fun way to let the kids spend some time outdoors, tire themselves out, and have some fun. City Pool hosts an event. We have Magic and a Message, which is hosted by First Baptist Church, which is a magic show with kind of a spiritual Christian message in the delivery of that. So just Kids Fest Healthy Living, which is taking place at our office at the Lake Martin Innovation Center, which is going to be all sorts of different folks out there showing kids the importance of living healthy and maintaining a healthy lifestyle. We do have some events that are taking place out in Strand Park. We have our famous and very popular dog parade. So you bring your dog out, and we have a few different categories that you can enter your pet in. There's even a thank God I'm not a dog category, so you can bring your alternative pet. We had somebody last year bring a mini horse and an iguana one time too. So
That was a good
do you have
time.
pets? Don't you have a bird?
Yeah, I have a bird. Yeah, I do have 2 dogs that I live with. 2 dogs. I'm not going to say that I have 2 dogs, but I have two Dachshunds, and so both of those actually were in the dog parade last year. So it was a lot of fun. There was a lot of things going on at that time last summer, so it was a lot of fun to get involved in the community. And that's what I love about this event, is the fact that it's not exclusive to anyone. This is something that the entire community can benefit from. If there's something for everyone with Sunfest.
There literally is something for everyone. I'm just looking through our schedule of events here. Hanging out at the home. There'll be events for people who are living in local nursing homes and assisted living facilities, where we take the fun of Sunfest and take it to those people who aren't able to get out and enjoy these for themselves. So like you mentioned, really something for everyone. We have a lip sync battle out in Strand Park on Monday night. You're able to come out and perform 2 or 3 minute song, and $100 cash prize plus Moon Taxi concert tickets for the winners. Bingo at Jake's. We have a drone race, which is new this year, out at Charles E. Bailey Sportsplex. We have a glow-in-the-dark golf tournament out at Lake Winds. Again, the city and their resources stepping up to the plate and helping us with a location for that. Show Your Colors is on Wednesday night out at the BRHS lawn. We'll have a lot of area high school athletes. The BRHS band's going to be out. It's kind of a fun pep rally style atmosphere. And you guys, Sports Blitz, will be out, kind of having a little media day for the local athletes and coaches to come out. So that's a great way to expose those local athletes to our community. Faith Night at Benjamin Russell High School will be immediately after Show Your Colors, and it's in the auditorium. And we have 4 performers who are going to all go back to back, and it's spiritual Christian music, wide variety, contemporary Christian music, Southern gospel. So we're really looking forward to that. Celebrate America's Heroes, which is coordinated by SL Alabama and the Lake Martin Economic Development Alliance, out at the Bill Nichols Veterans Home, just paying tribute to those who have so unselfishly sacrificed to make sure that we're able to have events like this and be afforded all the luxuries we have in life. The Lake Martin Young Professional is hosting Trivia Night down at Kowaliga, which is always a popular event. The Alex City Act 2 Theater has 2 occurrences of Our Town, their latest community theater production that will be playing on Friday night and also on Thursday. And then Friday, one of the biggest things for Sunfest is Band Battle. We have 6 local bands that will be competing for the chance to win $1,000 and open for Moon Taxi on Saturday night. Got a great lineup, not only some really good local acts, but some folks from around the state and the region that have submitted to be a part of that. And it's going to be a great night out in Strand Park to kick off the final weekend that, of course, wraps up with the big Moon Taxi concert out in Strand Park on Saturday, July 22nd. So I didn't touch on everything there as much as I could. The entire series of events is on the Chamber's website, alexandercitychamber.com. We have a week event guide, and really the best way to keep up to date and follow all of the activities is by checking out Sun Festival Alexander City on Facebook. And that'll be the best way, as I mentioned, to make sure that you don't miss anything and attend all the events that you want to. Some of the events do require registration. We have a cornhole tournament out in Strand Park on Saturday before the Moon Taxi concert, so you have to sign up ahead of time for that. A few other things, the lip sync battle, we do ask that people sign up a little ahead of time. We have a motorcycle show, or a motorcycle ride and a car show, which do require you to sign up as well. So any questions that anybody listening might have about what's going on, just feel free to stop by the Chamber. We're located right on Highway 280 at the Lake Martin Innovation Center, right next to US Ameribank on 280. Stop by. We'll be able to give you a Sunfest magazine, hook you up with a T-shirt, get you tickets to anything that requires tickets. Give us a call, 256-234-3461. We'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. And we're just looking forward to a really good week of folks coming out and supporting this and having a lot of fun.
Typically, when we do this show, it's very hard for me to get through segments without having to take multiple breaks. We were able to do that, so we were able to close out the whole show. So I appreciate you being the one to finalize everything. But hats off to you guys at the Chamber. I know Ed and the rest of the team with Carla as well as Kim. And I'm forgetting what's my lady that works.
Our newest employee is Kay Webb.
Kay Webb,
and I
yes.
would be she would not be happy if I didn't mention all the work that she's put into coordinating the pie baking contest, which will be on Friday, July 21st at the Lake Martin Innovation Center. She has hooked up a fantastic batch of prizes for whoever's able to claim victory in the pie baking contest. If you just want to come out and taste some really awesome cakes and pies, anybody's welcome to come and taste. We do have some kind of local guest celebrity judges who will be judging the best based on whatever criteria they've established for the pie baking contest. But Kay's put a lot of hard work into that, and also the Kids Fest Healthy Living Expo that's taking place in the Innovation Center. But yeah, it's going to be a great week, and I really want to thank all of our sponsors. They're way too numerous to go down the list, and I just know that without them, this would not be possible. They do this so that our folks that live in this area and who visit our area will have something fun to do the entire week long. So I know I've been a little long-winded, but thank you very much for having me.
No problem. No, we appreciate all the work you guys are doing, and we look forward to catching up with you after as a recap. But again, from a Sports Blitz perspective, we will be out next Wednesday at the BRHS Band Field to have our media day for Show Your Colors event. But again, that was Jacob Meacham, the VP of Business Development for the Alexander City Chamber of Commerce. So we appreciate him coming on and all the work the Chamber's doing. So that'll wrap things up here for us tonight. For my co-host, Adam Blankenship, and our producer, Michael Forehand, I want to say thank you guys for joining us tonight. Sports Blitz Live with Brett and Luke right after this.